Welcome to Session 2 of Sequoyah, a Star Trek Adventures actual play featuring the Fantasy Grounds virtual tabletop from Nerd Eye Industries. Disclaimer, this is a beginner game, meaning that some of the players are new to Star Trek, the 2D20 system, Fantasy Grounds, or all three. There will be some instruction, actually there will be a lot of instruction during gameplay, and there will be mistakes made. This is an interactive game, much like our other streams in the 2D20 system. So what that means is that those watching live and those who check out the video on demand can actually affect the gameplay. In an effort to keep this as correct as possible, it is encouraged for you, those of you who are watching and watching later on, to point out errors that I make as a GM to help guide gameplay further. So if you notice that I make an error, and just me, please, not the players, point it out. And what that will do is, if it's pointed out during live play, then I will reduce my threat pool by 1. And then it will be, if it is during the comments on the video on demand, then the next game session, I will reduce my threat pool by 1. There were no errors pointed out last session, so I am starting with a full complement of 8 threat for this session. Now, let's go ahead and get reacquainted with the players and the player characters, and we are going to start with Commander Mers.
Hi, I'm Rihanna. I'm DIY Ferret on Twitter and everywhere else, basically, and I'm playing Commander Kujera Mers, who is a Trill first officer to the USS Sequoyah. I'm super excited to play again. I don't know what else to say.
Oh no, that's fine. And we'll go in rank order. So then next up would be Dr. Davis.
Hello, everyone. I'm playing Dr. Davis tonight. My name is Leslie. You can find me on Twitter at LeslieGMGirl. I am super excited to play Dr. Davis, who is a lieutenant commander, but that doesn't really come up because she's, the doctor. So.
Right. And next we have Lieutenant Salt.
Right. So sometimes Gideon forgets that she's got a title. She really just thinks of herself as engineer extraordinaire. Hi, my name is Morgan. I'm playing Gideon. You can find me on Twitter at ThistleRaven, and I'm playing Gideon, who is our resident engineer, techie robot, trying to fix the problem kind of gal.
All right. And last but not least, we have Lieutenant Frankie Carmichael.
Hello, my name is Brittany Leonagay. I'm playing Frankie Carmichael, who is a science officer. She is very new to the ship and to this whole being on a team and working together thing. She's fresh out of the academy. You can find me on Twitter at Brittany Lee, spelled in an odd way. And I'm also on, you can find me at D20 Dames, which is an all-femme D&D podcast that I do that's family friendly. And you might like that too.
All right. And I did forget to mention that those watching live get the added opportunity to help out the PCs during this game session. So for 50 bits, you can give the group 1 momentum. That is over the normally allotted maximum of 6. So you can certainly help the players out, because especially in the beginning of every session, they start with 0 momentum. They have to generate it with dice rolls. So that is the only way that they can get momentum outside of dice rolls. So you can help affect that. So last time the USS Sequoyah received a Priority 1 message that they were to proceed immediately to Starbase 17 to escort Captain Tana Shen to planet Gamma Delta 5512. Contact with Captain Shen's ship, the USS O'Reilly, was lost after they were sent to check on a malfunctioning deep space probe. Lieutenants Salt and Carmichael prepped the Sequoyah to withstand the violent ion phenomena that affects GD 5512, while Dr. Davis and her staff prepared sickbay to help continue Captain Shen's treatment for a rare fungal disease. Commander Mers had to play ship's counselor to Captain Maxwell when it was learned that Tana Shen is one of the captain's old flings. The Sequoyah arrived at GD 5512 to find the O'Reilly floating dead in orbit. Assuming her crew had beamed to the surface, Captain Shen insisted that Jack help her go look for them. As soon as they beamed down, a sudden and violent ionization engulfed the planet, making communications and retrieving the away team impossible. So that is where we will start. We will begin. We are on the bridge of the Sequoyah, and everyone, all of the player characters are present. It's not unusual for the Doctor to be on the bridge during times like this, especially when there's not a medical emergency. So that's fine. And I want to start with Frankie Carmichael. Let's see here. There we go. Let's have Frankie. You're in the chief science officer position on the bridge, and you're monitoring the sensors. How do you want to proceed monitoring these sensors, Lieutenant Carmichael? So, if you remember in game terms, if you open up your character sheet, you choose an attribute and a discipline. Now, as game master, sometimes I can dictate which discipline you're going to use, but a lot of times I just kind of leave it open. So it's completely up to you what attribute and discipline you would prefer to use. And also, if any of your focuses or your values apply to this, then focuses mean that whatever your discipline is at, that is the... if you roll equal to or less than that on your D20s, that counts as 2 successes instead of 1.
Okay. Can you remind me what control feels like as an attribute?
Control is more of like your physical control of your physicalness, like a dexterity. But it's not necessarily. I mean, you can use control for other things. So it's really just it's a loose interpretation. If you're being very precise, you're using your control. If you're just kind of going willy-nilly, you're using your daring. That kind of thing.
I think Frankie is going to go. So she definitely needs to use science as a discipline, I think. But as the attribute, I'm thinking that she's going to be like, kind of realizing the situation is like, oh wait, I need to kind of get my chiefness up. I need to get a little bit, I need to be more, official about this. So maybe it's fake, maybe it's not, but so something that kind of gives her a little bit more of a commander type feel to her assessing what's going on.
Okay.
So I'm not sure if that would be control or presence, maybe.
I think you could make an argument for either. Control. Essentially, with Commander Sivak is actually the chief science officer and is like precepting you through this. So they are standing there, kind of observing how you're doing things. So working with control would probably please them.
I think control's the one.
Okay.
Because I think she's just going to be very precise about this. She's going to really not cut corners. It's very, very focused. So I think that makes sense. Okay, so control and science.
Okay.
And then my focuses don't really apply here. And then values, not really either, unfortunately.
Okay. So that doesn't work against you in any way.
Cool.
So what the next question is, right now you're looking at target number 14, your base on your dice roller there at the bottom of your character sheet. You've got 2 dice lit up. That's the green dots. So right now your target number is 14. Your DC is, I'm going to actually make it a DC 2 because this is not a very, if it's automatic, it's DC 0. If there's a little bit of it's a little tricky, but not, it's kind of average, it'd be 1. 2 is a little bit more tricky. Now you're dealing with a phenomena that you're not quite, you did get some sensor data and things like that before, but this is much more intense and you're also under much more stress. So I'm going to say that your DC is 2. So then the next question I have is, because the group does not have any momentum at this point, do you want to give me any threat to increase your...
Wait, that might be...
We do. There are 50 bits in the chat.
How many bits?
50.
Oh, that gives, that awards 1 Oops.
Thanks, ergonomic cat.
Yeah. So
Thank you.
you have one momentum in the pool. So you could use that for an extra d20,
Okay.
which would increase your chance of success. Now remember, if your DC with your DC being 2, then you for every success or number of successes over 2 you generate momentum.
Use it.
Okay, yeah, we use it, or we should just
Yeah.
use it and
Yeah,
keep going,
absolutely.
right? Okay, so I will
Just keep
use
using it.
a momentum.
Yep, just drag and drop. So left click, drag and drop that 1 point of momentum. There you go. And then increase your dice pool from 2 to 3.
2 to 3. Lovely.
There you go.
Got it.
And then that little I guess that's kind of a cream colored dice there on your,
Yes,
just
indeed.
click that and that should roll it. There you go. 2 successes, exactly what you needed.
Such control.
Such control. So yes, you're very precise in how you're operating the sensors, and think this is original series, so you're leaning over the hood in like Spock, looking down into the sensor array, and what you pick up is very faint, and you're doing you start off by doing like wide sweeps of the area, and then you're like doing tighter beam focused because there's the probe that's sitting there, and the way I like to describe this phenomena is what's happening is, so the Sequoyah is off orbit. It's not in like direct geosynchronous orbit. It's actually just slightly off of a standard orbit, and you can see that what it appeared was the O'Reilly had taken up a standard orbit over the planet, and then this ion field that's surrounding this planet it's like physically touching the hull of the O'Reilly, almost like it's stuck to flypaper. That is exactly what it's like. It's like it's adhered to this ion field, and you can see that just from your measurements that this probe is there is no variation in where this probe is as compared to the hull of the O'Reilly. They are exactly equidistant from the surface, even though they're in different parts of orbit. They are exactly within like a meter of exactly the same position in orbit.
And they are, but they're both in the same ion field. The
Correct.
probe and the.
Correct.
Got it.
That was basic stuff. So that would have, with just a one success, that you would have gotten that, because that's just doing measurements. What the 2 successes was as you're doing this very basic measurement of how far the O'Reilly is above the planet, you get very, very briefly what appears to be life signs on the ship, and then it goes away.
Ooh. Frankie will kind of come off of looking at the sensor data and turn to everyone and say, I mean, she'll kind of spout out the basic stuff. It's like when you have like gum in your hair, and it's just kind of, it's like attached to the eye. Anyways, haven't seen anything like that before, but this is probably just an anomaly. But I think I also detected life forms on the ship just for a second, and then it was gone. That is probably nothing, or it's everything.
Lieutenant, that is not nothing. I need to hear you say, are there life on board or not?
I think we should proceed as if there is life on board.
Mers will look at Sivak just fleetingly. What does Sivak?
Sivak gives you.
Frankie's so sad at that. He's like, oh.
Sivak is in like the auxiliary science station on the bridge, and turns, and as he turns, he's got the Vulcan eyebrow going, and says, "Commander, I concur."
All right. Thank you, Lieutenant. And he'll nod at both of them. But, all right, so. Boy, howdy.
Did we go to the ship and try to see if there's anyone on board or anyone who needs saving?
Will we be getting stuck in the same field?
Well, I don't think we should bring our ship any closer, that's for sure. But maybe we can go ourselves on an away team?
Would I know if it was possible to get to the ship? I know it's not possible to get to the planet, but would I know if it was possible to get to the ship?
Yes, the ion field is only affecting like the lower decks of the ship, so you could potentially get to the upper decks of the ship via beaming across. It wouldn't be easy, but it could be done.
All
So
right.
the teleporter might work.
So hearing that, I'm going to look at Lieutenant Salt and say, Lieutenant Salt, is it possible for us to beam aboard the ship at just the upper decks? Because the transporter room, is the transporter room lower decks? Or middle?
They're more on this ship. There's because this was just a science vessel. This isn't a Constitution class ship like the Sequoyah, so it's significantly smaller, and so you would have like main you'd have more than one transporter room, so very likely you'd have like a fore and an aft. So the aft transporter would probably be a little bit higher up, so you probably theoretically you could do it,
Okay.
at least based on the schematics that you have.
Okay, so according to schematics, Lieutenant Salt, could you get someone on board that ship? And could we have some form of communication that will be able to go from that ship to ours that isn't affected by the ions?
Maybe. Should be fine. Probably could do it. Yeah. Don't see why not.
Okay, well, try. Try at
Okay.
least. That's all I can ask.
So I guess I will. The transporters, they're kind of, I'm okay at them, but mostly I'm interested in the power systems. But if the power systems are compromised by the ion shield, might make it a little tricky. Okay.
I'm gonna address Lieutenant Taylor, our Chief Communications.
She turns and looks at you. Yes, Commander.
Do you have anything that could help us at this point? Any insight, any knowledge? Have you ever encountered anything like this? Because my biggest priority is to get someone on board that ship with some sort of communication to see what we can do to help. I don't just want to keep sending people onto that ship and lose communication.
She says, frankly, Commander, you would have to take you probably would need to take a portable booster, that way you can enhance any kind of signal coming from the ship. Once you have established that booster, we could keep in communicator contact with you. If you do not have it, it would be very, very patchy.
Okay, if you would please assist Lieutenant Gideon. Sorry, I should say Lieutenant Salt. Lieutenant Salt, in what she's thinking about doing, I would appreciate it.
Also, I have a question. So, last we had the captain and the girl. They ran off.
Captains, both captains.
Well, yeah, okay, yeah. So both captains, captains squared. They went and beamed down to the planet, right?
Yes.
And then did the ion shield happen immediately afterwards? Immediately afterwards.
I think so, right?
So maybe there's something going on with a transporter signal that makes the ion shield a little... ion shield. That might be something. I misspoke there, but actually I'm very smart. That might be it. Ion storm, ion shield. Because if it's a shield and it's keeping things out,
Are you
That might-
suggesting the ion is intentional? It's not just a random occurrence of nature.
well, you said that the probe and the ship are like the same. Like if you were to draw like one point A and one point B like this,
Mhm.
and we have like a little, like if it's at the same kind of distance,
It
maybe it's
is pretty manufactured. It's not very natural in any way.
Yeah. So if it's a shield, right? If it's keeping things out, it might react to transporter signals or maybe even the power fluctuations that happen when particles move through space like that. Maybe that's what it reacts to. So on second thought, maybe we don't do a transporter. Do we have like another little, do we have like a puddle jumper?
Yeah,
Like a
do we
little
have?
ship?
I'm always gonna go to runabouts.
Shuttle?
It would just be a shuttlecraft, yeah.
Okay, we have a shuttlecraft. All
Yeah,
right.
Maybe we just tootle over there and dock and see what's up. But yeah,
How many shuttlecrafts do we have? Do we just have the one?
You would have 2.
We'd have 2. Okay.
Mhm. As for their names,
Or-
you are free to name the Sequoiah's shuttlecraft whatever you like.
Okay. We're gonna go with mountains. So give me a mountain. 2 mountains.
Oh god,
Geography.
geography is my worst subject to Trivial Pursuit.
Chat. 2 mountains.
Yeah, name 2 mountains, chat.
Please help, chat.
Shasta Mountain.
Kilimanjaro.
Yeah, Kilimanjaro. I mean, that's yeah. Let's do Kilimanjaro. Is Shasta? Where is Shasta?
Mount Shasta is that's in,
Everest.
Everest. Yeah, Everest. I'm sure there's like a ship that's Everest at this point. Okay, so we'll do the Kilimanjaro.
Mauna Loa.
Oh, now
St.
they're coming in.
Helens?
They're coming in.
Oh, they're coming in. Oh,
Okay.
chat. You're giving me too much. They're all great.
Denali's
Ooh,
good.
Denali.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll have Denali.
Mountain Dew.
Oh,
Right,
no.
Cage,
Age.
No, sir. The Matterhorn does not count either. We'll do the Helens. How about that? The Denali and the Helens.
Or
Yeah.
okay. So,
Okay.
So which shuttlecraft are you taking?
Well, first, who's going?
That is your decision, Commander. And that's what Sivak says.
Fuck.
Amanda, I think I should probably go with you in case anyone's hurt.
That's very valid. However, you have your second in command medical officer down on the planet now. So, how many medical personnel do we have left on this ship?
I'm so glad you asked that question.
Thank you.
We brought on extra as well when we were.
We did bring on a few. Okay.
at the
And we
base.
have the med bays set up in case we did find people.
Mhm.
All right. So medical personnel. Yeah. Honestly, you have at least 4 other like full-on surgeons on the ship. So you could put Lieutenant Nunn. She could take over as medical officer on the ship while you're away. Very
Alright.
very capable doctor. On the cusp of being a chief medical officer herself.
Lieutenant Nunn can handle it. I have full confidence in her abilities, and we are fully staffed.
Okay. Lieutenant Sivak, while I would normally want you to go on, I feel it's important that you stay here. So do you have a science officer that you would recommend?
He is-
Frankie is like standing so tall, and she's just looking not too eager, but just did make that pretty cool sensor call earlier. So
he says, Lieutenant Carmichael would be my first and only choice.
Yeah, no, even Merce is going to be like, at her. Okay. Lieutenant Carmichael, you're on.
Yeah, amazing. Do I need an outfit, or is this okay? Is this
fine.
Should I? Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
You got this.
He's going to turn to.
Do I get a +1?
You saw plus and Sivak approves like above his head a bit ago, so you're fine. Lieutenant Salt.
Uh-huh. Go on.
I would like to know who else in engineering you would find capable to leave in charge.
The other people in engineering. GM.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Gideon has given them numerical values.
Yes. Probably the first one that comes to mind would be your damage control engineer, which is Lieutenant Tlarsh, a Tellarite. A little rough around the edges sometimes, but Tlarsh is a very capable engineer in their own right.
So that would be Talarsh. I will warn you, he has terrible, terrible opinions about the progression of warp drives, but for a short 24 to 48 hour stint, he is fine to keep in charge of the overall ship operations for engineering. Just if he suggests any upgrades, tell him absolutely not, no.
Wonderful. I will put him in charge, and I am putting you on the away team.
Okay. I don't get to get out of the ship very often. This is exciting.
You have multiple times during all shore leaves to leave, and yet you do not. But that's for another time.
Well, yeah.
Oh
It's
boy.
easier to get work done when other people aren't here. Anyway, I think it's a great time to bring the kid out. They're really great.
First mini spaceship. What are they called?
Yeah.
Mers
Shuttlecraft is
Write that down.
gonna go.
I'm driving a mini.
So I guess we'll beat you down. I gotta go get my toolkit. I'll be back. So Gideon's gonna run off and get her like engineering toolkit / hardware belt. You know, like construction
sure.
workers have belts and stuff. I mean, it's geared out. She's got all different pockets and stuff and sockets and things.
Right, which is super old school because most of your Starfleet engineers don't do anything like that. So yeah, you're kind of you're kind of an oddity.
Anachronistic.
Yeah, you're very anachronistic, exactly.
Yeah, but that's why Gideon's better than they are. When you stop getting a feel for what it's like to get in there, when you just rely on your computer screen, you don't really get to understand. Also, Morgan has a limited understanding of how good engineering is.
You're fine. I have to talk to Sivak.
Okay.
Lieutenant Commander Sivak.
Okay. Is this something like on the bridge, or are you wanting to do this in private?
In private.
Okay.
Sounds like Siri. Interesting.
Thank you, Lieutenant Commander Sivak. You know, that would be fun if you had a Star Trek thing and you got Siri to play a role by having her read out lines.
That would be interesting. Yes.
I think someone should think about this more. Okay. All right.
So you say it is in private?
Yeah, not like super private. I just need to talk to him off the bridge, like for a second while everyone's getting ready.
Yeah. So as everyone is breaking up to gather equipment or, prepare things to go, you pull Sivak aside, and he just, stone face looks right into your eyes.
It was never a question that I was going, huh?
No.
Really? Everyone just knew I was going to go?
It seemed the logical choice.
Yeah. Yes. It most likely is. I don't even know what to say. We shouldn't be here. That I hate this. That he is just infuriating in the choices he makes.
I will have to take your word for that.
Do you really have nothing to say on all of this? Just gonna...
We were given a mission to deliver the captain to her ship. Her ship is here. She chose to check a different avenue. I would say that it falls within our parameters to ensure that her ship is, in fact, without life.
That's fine. That is entirely fine. That is logical. It's his choices, our captain's choices, that continuously put us in situations like this.
Have you ever considered why he requested you as first officer?
I imagine he wanted someone who was going to be a yes man, which ended up not working well for him.
That is a possibility. The opposite could also be true. You don't rise to the position of captain without understanding yourself at least a little bit. You have a lot of control where he does not. You could be the other half of that coin. You could make him great. And he could show some things to you that might surprise you about him. You've known him longer than I have.
Yeah. That's why it was never a question I was going to go.
Do you have any instructions for me while you're away?
I know you're going to do your best, so no.
Very well. I will leave you to it then, Commander. Turns and he
Lieutenant.
walks away. Okay, so the shuttle ride to the O'Reilly. Now, the shuttle bay, when you get close enough to, even though it is dead in space, if you get close enough, you should be able to transmit, like do a little bit of a power transfer, enough to get their shuttle bay open, to have the automated systems open it up. That should not be a problem. The concern here is obviously you have a very violent ion phenomena going on very, very close to where you're flying, to the point where if you don't thread the needle correctly, you could lose power yourself. Because it's not just like a shell that's around the planet. It's more of a shell that has what do they call that? Sunbursts, like arcs of energy just kind of dancing over the top of it. So it's not completely smooth. It fluctuates a little bit. So whoever is piloting will have to make a con check for this shuttlecraft. Now, I'm assuming that the alterations that you made on the Sequoyah shields you're doing for the shuttlecraft as well.
Mute. You're on mute.
Anyway, should be a pinch because we did it on a Constitution class Starcraft. Just doing it for this little puddle jumper shouldn't be too hard. Come on, kid, let's get in it. So I'll do the same thing.
Okay. Well, seeing as though
give it a
you've
little
done it
boost.
once before, it actually is easier. So we'll make this a difficulty 1
Difficulty 1.
engineering check. Is Carmichael helping you again? Carmichael, are you helping again? Or are you doing your own thing?
No. I'd love to help. Anything I can do to help
Yeah.
right
You
now
can bring her
on
in
this
and be
tiny
like,
ship.
So this is what it was like on the big ship because they've got all those different power arrays and all the different connections. These ships really a lot more simpler, kind of plug and play if you get my meaning. So we can do it like this, and I will pull her in to help her and show her what's going on with it.
Okay.
So I
with rage.
gotta do control. Now that I'm not being daring, I know how to do it now. Gideon's gonna use control and engineering, right?
Correct. Frankie will roll the assist first.
Okay.
So what? Now this is an engineering task for Gideon, but Frankie, you can use any discipline or attribute that you want to assist in this, just as long as you just tell me how it's fitting together.
Got it. I think Frankie would try to use engineering as well.
Okay.
Yikes. And then, I don't know what attribute. Maybe insight?
Okay. You're doing it like instinctively as opposed to.
Yeah, I think she's just vibing off of Gideon's, like, let's just do it. It's fine. This is so easy. Like, whatever. We've done this. It's nothing. And I'm just like, okay. Like, just holding wires or whatever and doing, like, just doing whatever.
Gotta roll for a vibe check.
Right.
Yeah. Why is that not an attribute? It's so
Right.
silly.
Okay. So change your number of dice to 1 because you're doing an assist as opposed to being the primary on the roll. And
Got it.
do any of your focuses or values apply to this?
Value. I do have a value of we cannot succeed alone. She's very into like the concept of collaboration and working together, although she hasn't really applied it
Okay.
in her life. So that's one of my values. Yeah.
Okay. You also have talents. One of them is collaboration science. You're not using the science skill, but if you do use the discipline of science, click and check that out whenever you do. But I also think you have testing a theory. Whenever you attempt an engineering task or science, you may roll an additional d20 so long as you succeed at a previous task covering the same scientific or technological field earlier in the same adventure. So yes, you have. So you get a free d20 on this roll. Now, normally you don't get an additional d20 on an assist, but I'm going to waive that. So go ahead and roll.
Love it.
Go ahead and roll 2 d20 on this, and none of your focuses apply though, right? So you're looking essentially you're looking for 15s. 1s count as 2 successes.
Is this DC 1 as well?
Yes, it is.
Got it. Okay. Great. Going.
There you go.
One.
And you got a success. Okay,
Yay.
so now Gideon, you have a success in the bank. Same thing. Do you have any focuses that apply?
So I've got to focus that perfection is meaningless and nothing is beyond improving. And that means for this, I'm gonna boost up this little trucker over here, this little toot toot, and getting it fired up. So I will put a focus on. And not focus, but my values. But my focus is I've got a whole bunch of stuff in power systems and experimental technology. So can I add a focus for that?
You may. Now, because this actually aligns with one of your values, you can opt to spend a point of determination for this roll, which would count as having rolled rolled a 1, so critical success. It's not. I mean, you don't have to, but you may if you wish.
I'm okay. I got one from Frankie. I'm feeling okay. And I roll how many dice?
For right now, you're at 2, but you also have testing the theory, which gives you
I do.
additional d20 because you've done this before.
All right. Now, do I click the 17?
Nope, the little dice next to your focus dot there.
Oh, I see. I gotcha.
Mhm.
Boom.
All right,
Oh,
so you
hell yeah.
4
Nice.
successes. So you generated 3 momentum on that. on that.
Oh,
There you go. All right, so
nice.
it's super easy. You've done it before, so
Come on.
yeah. So you have it rigged up so you are 100% certain that the ion field will not make you lose power, and will also reduce the difficulty of your pilot, whoever is piloting. It was going to be difficulty 2. Now it will be difficulty 1.
Okay. Kujera is piloting.
Okay.
He also has a focus in small craft,
Yes.
as well as one of his previous hosts was a ship captain.
Okay, nice. All right. So the focus. So on your character sheet at the bottom there, first of all, I need you to determine what attribute. Now the discipline is going to be con because you're piloting.
Okay.
There's no way around that one. But are you? What attribute are you using? So essentially, how are you flying?
I'm going to say control,
Okay.
because presence and reason doesn't make any sense. Oh, reason for piloting a ship. Does that make sense?
If you were following like a set protocol, if there was a certain way of doing it, I would say yes. But I think control's probably
Okay.
the best.
No, I think control is fine. Okay. And
Okay.
then since I have a focus, what does that mean?
So where down in your dice roller at the bottom of your character sheet, there is an FOC. Just
Oh,
click that
put the
button.
focus by it. Okay,
Yep.
cool.
Yep. So that
All right,
means that
it's a
3s or less now
DC1.
count as 2 successes. Okay. Now you have I don't know. I don't think any of your talents apply here. So it looks like
No.
so right now you have 3 momentum in the pool. Do you wish to spend any momentum on this roll? Right now you're looking at 12 or less to succeed in the piloting check. Like I said, the difficulty is only 1 because of what Salt and Carmichael did to the shields to make it a much more smoother ride.
Okay.
Dr.
I'll just-
Dr. Davis is just gonna like strap in.
Okay.
Good
She
idea.
just kind
Fine.
of glances over. She's like, "Just remember, anyone that we walk away from is good landing."
Yep. Now,
I joyride once with you. Once.
okay.
Frankie sees that Dr. Davis did this and is like sitting down, like, oh, shoot. Oh, okay.
All right. He sees this and he's like, I don't know where this came from. I am a great pilot.
All right.
Yes,
now-
of course.
Now the difficulty is still 1, but because of the nature of you are flying into a very dangerous field. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say where underneath where it says number of dice, it says comp ring. That is your complication range. I'm sorry, RNG is range. Complication range. Go ahead and click that to 2. So that means instead
Okay.
of a 20 being a roll of a natural 20 being a complication, a roll of a 19 or 20 counts as a complication.
Okay. I am going to use a momentum then.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do I just click it?
Left click, drag and drop.
Oh, left click. Oh, all right. I can do this.
There you go.
Okay.
And that increases
then-
your dice pool to 3.
Okay. And now I will roll my dice.
Wait, did you change
Oh.
your dice number of dice to 3?
Oh, no, you're right. Okay.
There you go. Okay.
Now I
you go.
roll my dice.
Yep. Here it is. Oh, and a complication. So you succeeded, but there is a complication. So what we'll say is that now, just one complication is no big deal. It's just a minor glitch, unless I spend a point of threat to make it worse. Which of course
Which you wouldn't do.
Which
Why
of
would
course
you
I
do that?
just did.
No!
He tried to kill us multiple times yesterday in our other game. He's really
Just really going for it.
Forward on
Got it
it.
for us. Yes.
This is fun and exciting.
You just,
All right.
you just hear Dr. Davis say, "I think that's not right there." Oh.
All right, so here's what happens as you're closing in. I'm sorry, which shuttlecraft are you taking?
The Helens.
The Helens. All right, so as the Helens is closing in on the shuttle bay doors of the O'Reilly, you're coming in, at regular speed. It's not like you're you're barnstorming or anything like that. So you're coming in at a regular, cruising rate and everything like that. And just as you're getting ready to, and you link to open the shuttle bay, operate, give it a little bit of power from your power source, just transmit it over enough to open up the doors. A arc of ionization just kind of whips across you. Now, it doesn't affect you in the ship, but it affects the O'Reilly. And as you're closing in, so your lights flicker and your view screen kind of goes out for a second, and then when it comes back, you're going right into the O'Reilly, and the doors have stopped opening. So I'm going to need you to make another con check at a DC2 to get into this malfunctioning shuttle bay.
Okay.
Dr. Davis, try to help.
Yes, absolutely. You are probably sitting in the seat next.
Sitting next.
Yeah, in the co-pilot seat. So that would be a con check. Whatever attribute you wish to use is fine. Just number of dice 1.
Okay. Well, I am also. Yeah. So in my talents, I have joined, and once per mission, I can declare that a former host has experience in a relevant skill or field of study, so I can gain a single focus.
Okay. Yeah.
So he is going to draw upon his actual previous host, Mizran, who was a ship captain.
Okay. And what is the memory that you tap into?
Mizran Mers was a ship captain for the Trill army is not the right word, but the Trill forces. And during a particularly dangerous run through an asteroid field, she was able to maneuver her ship through very, very small asteroids that were like kind of closing in.
Okay.
So with her experience, I want to add a focus.
Okay. So, yep, click your focus. Looks like Dr. Davis gave you a success on the co-pilot check. So you have a success in the bank. Right now you're at number of dice 2. Your target number is 12. You have 2 momentum in the pool.
Okay. Is my complication range in 2 still?
Yes, it is also. It is 2 as well because this is pretty dangerous.
Okay. All right. 2. My focus is on. All right. Let's go.
You got this.
Okay. You did not succeed.
You did not.
Oh my
get
God.
this.
Really? After using everything?
And you rolled a 19, which is a complication.
No.
Oh my gosh.
All right. So the shuttlecraft, the Helens, the shields are holding until they're not, and then the ship just drops into the shuttle bay and skids all the way to the end of the shuttle bay. The impact, luckily, the entire complement inside of the shuttlecraft actively secured harnesses, so no
Well-
one was injured.
Funny thing about that, Gideon did not.
Are you serious?
No, because Gideon was not paying attention to people strapping in. Gideon was still kind of poking around in the inside of the ship because it's been a while since she's been in one of those and was excited. And Mur sounded like he had it. So Gideon did not buckle up.
Okay. All right. So
I think we took the dock with us
Yes.
this time. Just
the
right
the
there.
shuttlecraft hits the floor of the shuttle bay and just kind of it does like a face plant and then just skids to the end and then falls down. And when everyone just kind of once the lights kick back on, because of course the lights went out because when the shields dropped, that the ionization actually affected the shuttlecraft. So when the emergency lighting kicks in, everyone is like strapped to their chair except for Gideon, who is upside down on the console in front of you. Okay, so Gideon, I'm going to roll 2 damage dice and to see how much stress damage Gideon took from the impact. Okay, so you took 2 points of stress from the impact.
Okay.
But I rolled 2 effects, so you have the stun effect going on. Essentially, unless tended to, your target numbers are going to be affected by +1 until not permanently, just for the time being. Essentially, you're getting a like a what do they call that?
Concussion?
Well, yeah, I mean that's exactly what it is. A concussion,
Ow.
a condition in the game terms. You have the concussed condition.
Commander,
Oh,
Oh,
you said
man.
your
see,
hand
Dr.
it.
Dave.
Oh, boy.
And I will spend
Oh,
and
oh.
I will spend 2 threat to make that a thing, because you didn't take enough stress damage to do that, but just for game terms, and I also want to see the medicine rules in play here, so I'm going to spend 2 threat to give Gideon a concussion.
Okay.
Oh.
Huh.
All right. Well, that was just smooth as butter. Oh,
That was the worst landing I've had in about 200 years of life. Yep.
we survived.
It's my bad.
Sorry.
Lieutenant, are you... We need to check you out. Why weren't you wearing your seatbelt? Lieutenant...
Good
Davis goes over
question.
to pick her up.
No, yeah, Kujera Mers will help.
Good thing for you is that I think I hit my head hard enough not to remember this later. Huh. Does anybody else see spots?
No.
Ah.
Well, not exactly. Let's get you over and sit you down and take a look at you. All right.
Okay.
So we're staying on the shuttlecraft for a little bit.
Let's just give it a second. Let me check
Okay.
her out and see if I can help.
All right. I know nothing about medicine, so
That's why
I
we've
cannot
got a
help.
doctor.
Right.
Well, I mean, I can't help at all, really.
All right. I just shared a map with everyone, and it's a large map. So if you look at the bottom right-hand corner, there it looks like there's like a little star. Well, it's like different arrows pointing. If you left-click and drag down, you'll get to the bottom of that, and you'll see where it says Shuttlecraft Hangar. Does everyone see that map?
Why is it
Yes.
still- Please wait. Like it's still loading.
Oh, it's still loading. It's kind of big, so it might take a minute.
All right.
On the
So in
bright
the
side,
meantime-
on the bright side, you don't have to traverse this entire shuttle hangar, because you are all the way at the end, having
Exactly as planned.
Yeah. Oh, the engineering section's first. Oh, I'm excited.
you should see your tokens in the shuttle hangar.
Nice.
How do you go?
I do
How did you
not
scroll
see it.
down?
On the bottom right of the map itself, you have those 4 little arrows.
Yeah.
If you left click and hold and then drag down, you will scroll down.
Left click on.
Ah, clever.
Got it.
And you
There
should
we
all
are.
be able to move your tokens around individually. Here you go.
I moved Gideon next to the doctor.
Good plan.
That's fine.
All right. So Dr. Davis is gonna pull out her equipment and take a look at.
Nerd Eye giving us 100 bits. I love
Wow.
that.
Nice. So that is 2 momentum for the pool.
They were
Thank
saving
you.
our butts so much yesterday during Conan, and now they're
wow.
back to save our butts once more during Star Trek.
Yeah.
You
No
can be
worries.
late more often if
Yeah.
you get 100 bits to us. That's
Right on time. Right on time, Nerd Eye.
All right. So I'm presuming that this is an insight medicine roll.
Yes, injury and healing. You are doing first aid is let's see here. Healing and injury is control and medicine. You are being very precise about what you're doing. If you were actually in like a combat situation, it actually is daring and medicine because you're like rushing to quickly treat someone. So, but you're not in a combat situation. So you are healing an injury.
So I have emergency medicine as a focus.
Okay. Yeah.
I have field medicine as a talent.
Yes. Let me call this up and see. So what does field medicine do for you? I think it's you don't have to have the right. You don't have. Yeah. You can. You ignore the increase in difficulty for working without proper tools or equipment. So that's what field medicine does for you. So that's good because you are not in a sick bay right now. You're in a shuttlecraft hangar.
Yeah.
So, and then I think cautious might actually help you. Oh, okay. So with cautious, if you're using I think you have it for medicine also. If you spend a momentum to get a extra dice because you're using medicine, you would actually get 2 extra dice for 1 momentum.
I will do that.
Okay.
Because I really need Lieutenant Salt to have her wits about her.
Okay.
And
for the remainder of the day.
Right.
Not to make too much of a joke about it, but she's looking a little green around the gills.
All right, so I select focus, correct?
Yes, correct. You've selected control and medicine. Are you spending the 1 momentum?
I am, so I just drag that in.
Mm-hmm. And that gives you, because of cautious, you get 2 dice.
So I get 4 total dice.
Correct. And your difficulty for this is 2 because you're trying to remove a condition off of someone.
All right. Let's see how this goes. Just hold still. All right.
Yeah. So your difficulty was 2, but you'd had it at 1, so that's fine. So your 2 successes is all you need. You just didn't generate any momentum. So, okay. But you did. You were able to stop the intracranial leakage that was happening, causing the concussion. So you were able to reverse the concussive effect that Gideon was suffering from. So
you just see her put something on either temple. There's, basically these little readers, and she spends a little bit of time looking at the information, and then she puts something in there. You sort of feel like this sudden kind of woozy feeling as what would appear to be some sort of electrical surges are kind of applied within her brain. And then your vision clears and you feel much better. And then she just kind of boop, boop, takes them off of your temples and...
Oh, Doctor, you're the best.
Well, that's what I'm here for. All right. Let's not do that again, though. All right.
Yeah. Most times I give myself a concussion. This is the first concussion I think anybody's ever given me. So that's a milestone.
We'll put it in the calendar.
A scrapbook. Right.
Everyone else is okay, though?
I think while that was happening, Frankie might have approached the commander and asked if there's anything Frankie could do. She's like touching the ship and like trying to like make sure if there's any like panels falling off. She might be like, "Is this helpful? Can I?"
So cute.
All right.
This Post-it notes fall from my actual wall right now. It's real. It's all happening.
Yeah. Immersion. Okay, so on the shuttlecraft, are there any pieces of equipment that we should know are on here besides our communicator, which we do need to get set up, which we can do right now?
Right. So yeah, the communication booster needs to be set up. And that could be done anywhere. It doesn't have to be like, you don't have to plug it into the wall. I mean, it's okay. It has its own power source. It would boost your signal. Now, also just standard Starfleet procedure would be that generally once the away team disembarked, chances are your engineer would start doing whatever like prep work or whatever now that Gideon's feeling better. And then as for Frankie, the first thing your training would say is pull out your tricorder and begin scanning around and see if you can find anything going on, any anomalies, and more specifically, you're now much closer. You should be able to pick up those life forms.
That's true. I think Frankie would remember the life form thing and maybe just hop right to that. In fact, she maybe would have helped on the medical stuff, but maybe that was actually more that kind of pulled her to focus on that a little bit more.
Okay. So using a tricorder to scan, what you're going to do is you can also do a check with this, and I'm going to make it because of your proximity to what you're scanning and what you're looking for. I'm going to actually make this a difficulty 0 check, meaning you're going to hopefully this is a momentum generator. So because you're using a piece of machine, using a piece of equipment, so that'll give you an extra dice to roll, because you're utilizing a piece of your gear to increase your dice pool. And then you're going to be using science, because you're using a science tricorder. So that would be your discipline. Beyond that, whatever attribute you want to use, completely up to you. And do any of your focuses apply? Actually, looking at your focuses, it may not be readily apparent right now, but I will say yes, one of your focuses apply, but I'm not going to tell you which one. So just click. You can get.
Can I guess?
you certainly may.
Can guess.
You certainly may.
Oh boy.
But yes, you can click the focus button on your dice roller, because you do have a focus that applies.
Cool.
All right.
I think, and then she'll use reason for the attribute because she's down to business. This
and
is
remember,
all science.
you're starting with 3 dice because you're utilizing the tricorder.
Okay, so 3 dice plus the focus, DC 0.
Correct.
Good to go.
You're good to go.
Cool. Away we go.
All right. So you generated 2 momentum because your difficulty was 0.
Yay.
So just double click the momentum chips to make it 5. There you go.
Nice.
Lovely.
Okay. So from where you are, the ionization is obviously affecting the ship, but now that you're inside the ship, you're getting a much cleaner picture of what you had picked up from the main ship, from your ship's sensors. You're getting a much cleaner look, and it doesn't make a lot of sense because you're getting these fluctuating life forms, and they appear to be coming from the engineering section, which is just beyond the door from where you are. So you're that close to these life forms, and they'll blink in and then they blink out, and then they blink in and then they blink out, or they're like super faint, almost as if either they're injured or something is kind of affecting their life signs or things like that, because they're super weak when you do connect to them. You detect them. It's almost as if their biological functions are so low that maybe they're in some sort of a stasis or something. You're not exactly certain.
Got it. Frankie is going to report this to Mers immediately, and say, I just got the battery changed in my tricorder yesterday, so I think this is legit. There's life forms just right on the other side.
Okay, I'll check my own tricorder just to double check.
Okay.
Darn it.
That is not on you. That is
Frankie thinks it's on her.
I'm so sorry, Frankie. One day we'll get this straightened out.
Right.
But it says the same thing. All right.
So, yes, you can confirm what Lieutenant Carmichael was saying, although Lieutenant Carmichael has a much deeper understanding of sensors and science and things like that.
Oh, absolutely.
So,
I'm just making sure it's not just her tricorder.
Yeah. No, her
Okay.
her tricorder is not picking up anything differently or anything like that. You are getting these very faint, almost as if they're phasing in and out, life forms, and you're picking up 5 of them.
Up
Is
now, because a
is it-
combat tracker just popped in and up and out of the Twitch
Yeah.
screen.
Yeah.
And I'm getting a little nervous.
Should be
no.
fine.
Ah,
Can
it's
I just quickly ask if there's anything unusual? Maybe if because as soon as Gideon gets her wits about her, is there anything unusual about these life forms being centered in the engineering section? Anything particularly unusual about that, or is this?
Well, that's that would be the first place if something were to phase in, wouldn't it? No, because the phase room is somewhere else. But like engineering has all sorts of energy readings and stuff like that. It's not great.
Just seems
Like-
strange, but
Like anywhere, like if something did phase into a place, nowhere is great, but engineering seems worse.
I'm Gideon over here, Vis. I'm just
Oh, absolutely.
kind of thinking here. You know, if the ion field kind of interfered, how possible is it if the whole crew was like, we're going to beam down to the planet, or I'm going to beam somewhere, and then the ion field kind of went through them like, woohoo, right in the middle of it? Would their particles just be all floating around and stuff? Would that interfere with them making their bodies back together, or are they just kind of, am I breathing another engineer right now?
I mean, you're suggesting that in attempting to transport down onto a planet or another place in general, that they were somehow stuck and that their readings are fluctuating between here and the place they intended to transport to?
I mean, it could be, right? Like maybe as they kind of departicleized, they just kind of got stuck. You know?
That is possible.
Well,
It's
there's only one way to find out.
Yeah,
That's
because
true.
That might make it like, oh, I'm here and oh, I'm not. You know, if they're kind of bouncing around like 2 little ping pong balls. You know.
Yes, that is entirely possible. However, whatever it is, we don't know for certain. So he's going to take his phaser out and he's going to set it to stun and he's going to say, we're going to enter there and we're going to find out what it is.
Okay, but first I'm going to set up the communication box because I think that's important to do.
Yes, absolutely.
So
That's-
Gideon's going to set up the portable booster and see if we can give a little hello back to the main ship.
Okay.
One second. I really need to go to the restroom.
Sure,
I'm
sure,
so
sure.
sorry.
So go ahead, Gideon. You can do that. That's I would say it's an engineering check to get that all set up. Whatever attribute is up to you.
Let's do the you know what? Control engineering worked super good last time, so let's just keep that on rolling.
Okay.
Oh, what did I do there? Oh no. Oh god. Oh shit.
answer one.
Oh no! Damn it.
That's right.
Oh no, I did it. I didn't realize what I was clicking and the map turned into a browser thing and that's why. Okay, anyway, whatever. Okay, I don't know if my values apply, but it's a portable booster. I don't know if that works into power systems or not.
I would say yes, it does.
Okay, cool. So, I don't think, do I get testing a theory on that?
I don't think you've done it. You haven't done something with the communication array, so no, I don't think so.
Okay, so just 2 dice, right?
Yes.
Plus my focus.
Plus your focus. Are you spending any momentum? You have 5 in the pool.
Oh, heck yes. Let's do it.
Okay.
So, I will put a button there and I will roll the dice.
Nope. And you forgot to change number of dice to 3, so you go ahead and just click your number of dice to 1 and roll again.
Boom.
There you go. So you got a total of 2 successes, so you generate a point of momentum.
Heck yeah.
And the communication booster is now active, so you see the dish kind of go bloop, and then it starts to pulse, boop, 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 boop. And
E.T. phoning home.
So, and then that's so Mers, your communicator beeps,
Okay.
and you know it's the Sequoyah. They and it's Lieutenant Taylor. So, Lieutenant
Okay,
Taylor
communications officer.
says,
All right.
Commander, can you hear me? Okay.
Yes, Lieutenant, I hear you just fine. How are things aboard the Sequoyah?
Everything is as you left it, Commander.
Great. Everything is not how I left it on this shuttlecraft. I encountered some difficulties, and please keep the Denali on standby.
Confirmed. Lieutenant Sivak is requesting that you make sure that you enter that into your log entry when you.
Will
You're
do.
gonna have to fill out an expense report later.
Incident report.
Right, an incident report. Okay, so the
Kujera has lost every single chess game except for one against Sivak, and he's gonna hold it over his head for the rest of his life. He's just mad about it, and you know what? Sometimes you get best, so whatever, Sivak.
all right. So now that the array is put up, what are you doing?
Okay. Everyone has their phasers. Everyone has their communicators. Gideon's fine,
Wow.
right?
There's an
That is
argument
right.
to be made either way on that one.
I didn't do any more damage than you came in with, right? Yes, I did. It's fine. You're fixed now.
I'm fixed now.
Okay.
No harm, no foul.
All right. I would like to exit the Helens and check on the craft real fast if we can, because the shuttlecraft hangar, we have to go through a door to get into engineering, right?
Correct.
Okay. Then here's the plan. We're going to step out. We're going to check on the shuttlecraft real quick just to see if, by first glance, if this is, if it's salvageable, if it's really messed up, whatever the damage is. And then we are going to head into engineering and see what's up.
Okay. It was the shuttlecraft is pretty banged up. As a matter of fact, I'm going to spend a threat to say that it is it's trashed.
Well, you don't have to.
So,
Yeah, you
but luckily,
didn't have to.
I didn't. But luckily, you have the communications array up, so they can get transporter lock on you should it be needed.
Okay, but we're trying not to use transporter because that's probably going to start the ion. So that's a last resort.
Okay. All right. So now what?
All right. How does the door to engineering open?
You would enter it either the left or the right. You've got there's those dotted lines, those hash marks. You just step in there and it would open up into the engineer section. So just let me know.
So,
if
right here?
Yeah, that's fine. You would just step across that solid line and you'd be in engineering.
Okay. Carmichael with me. Dr. Davis and Lieutenant Gideon can. Keep saying Gideon. I don't. It's because I keep seeing your name. I keep meaning
That's
to
my
say
name.
Lieutenant Salt. I know, but it's Lieutenant
It's
Salt.
okay. It's fine.
No, it's not. It's last names. I'm a professional. Okay. Okay. So on a count of 3, we're gonna go through these doors. Everyone has their phasers up, ready. We're gonna
do we?
scan. Yes.
Oh,
Now you do.
okay.
Everyone's ready. Everyone has their phasers. Set to
Davis
stun.
is just,
Gideon
looking at
has
it.
her phaser set to sun, and just as you are about to be like, we're gonna quietly go in, she's gonna go.
No. I'm still checking. With Carmichael that her phaser is up.
Yeah, yep, it's up, and I'm prepared to use it.
It's on stun. We're on stun. Everybody's on stun.
Yep, stun.
Okay, now you can be Gideon.
Aha! So, as we're about to go in, knock knock.
All right. So
And
you
All right, we go
go
in.
through.
stepping in the door. All right. So we'll I'll just move everyone into the engineering section there. You can just move. Yeah, there you go. Perfect.
Dr. Davis is just like muttering under her breath, how did I get stuck with her?
That's right. You drew the short end of the stick there, right?
Did I do?
Ian keeps
It was
your
the
life-
jokes about the landing, wasn't it?
You know, I used everything I could, and it still messed
Yeah,
up.
the dice
I'm
were
really
against you on that one, pal.
annoyed.
The
Oh,
guys wanted to tell a story.
they
Oh
really
no, the
did.
combat tracker's back!
Oh no! Oh,
That's
no.
probably nothing
Oh,
again.
no. Don't-
What the hell?
ignore ignore the stream. Ignore the stream. There's nothing to see here.
Looking at the
Stream
screen.
sniping.
Stream sniping,
Oh, no.
exactly.
Is that considered metagaming?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, I'll stop looking at the stream.
No, you're fine. It's fine. All right. So as you step through, you can see that you're in the main engineering section, and so you've got the dilithium mix chambers and all that, and the propulsion computers and all that is right there in front of you. Gideon, you know that this ship is this thing is a dinosaur compared to the ship that you're on. So this is a classic.
It's adorable. I love it. Look at all the retro stuff. Oh, I'm so excited. I get to touch all this stuff, and oh, it's so cool.
Lieutenant Salt,
Uh-huh.
So, but go ahead.
if we open a door
Uh-huh.
and you do that again,
Uh-huh.
we are absolutely going to have a problem.
Okay. But nothing's here. Just computers and engineering stuff. Look at this tech. It's ancient. I mean, it's not ancient.
Okay, who's that?
All right. So what happens is Gideon's babbling on about how great this old tech is and how it's so retro and classic. And what you see is part of the computer bank that's right there in front of you. As you walk in, you see what appears to be like almost as if they had opened up the paneling and had crawled inside and were stuck in there. You see a person, and let me call that up for you.
Maybe it's friendly.
Maybe.
Ooh, oh no.
Oh no.
No.
Looks bad.
Looks bad. So what happens is as you see this and you're like, is this person alive, dead? And so all you're seeing is essentially just kind of laying down half in, half out of this panel is this person. It's engineering garb and everything. The eyes wide open, just like this milky white eye, just kind of looking up at you. And is actually kind of looking right at the doctor. But they're not moving. They're just kind of laying there.
Well, that doesn't look good. She will approach.
Okay.
I mean, just based on looking at them, do they look vaguely alive or dead?
He doesn't appear to be breathing. You do have a medical tricorder that could give you more information.
All right. She will use the tricorder to scan.
Okay, so that would still be medicine because you're using a medical tricorder. Whatever attribute you wish is on you, and then if any of your focuses apply.
All right. So let's see. Focus. Emergency medicine.
Oh yeah, that would probably work. So yeah, you go ahead and click your focus button on your dice roller there.
All right.
Okay.
What is my DC?
For this one, I'm going to say it is DC 2.
DC 2. All right. Insights, just for trying to determine.
Sure. Yeah. What does this one feel like? Not just what the data is telling you, but how does this make how are you interpreting this? Yeah, sure.
Just sort of interpreting what's going on with this individual. Okay, so I have 2 dice. I have 1 focus. My DC is 2, correct?
Correct. Do you want to spend any momentum to increase your dice pool?
No.
No. Okay.
All right. Ooh.
So you got 3 successes. So you generate a point of momentum, which has now capped out your momentum pool. And so what you determine, when it comes to gathering information and things like that, I will give you the base information for the number of successes that you got. You are always within your power to spend a point of momentum for extra information. I will never make you spend momentum if there is not extra information. So if you say, I want to spend some momentum for extra information, I'll be like, no, there's nothing else to know. Or, okay, sure, if you want to.
Yeah.
So with your base 2 successes, what you determine is that this person, the life form readings that you're getting, that Frankie had gotten both from the main ship and in here, is very likely coming from this individual and possibly some more individuals relatively closely. But you're able to just do an intense scan of this person, and everything that makes them a person, a living person, is technically not there. Essentially, you've got autonomic functions. So like there is respirations, but it's super slow. Circulation is virtually nothing. And so is this person alive or dead? Gray area. Are you able to, depending on how long this person has been like this, they may not be recoverable. You really don't know. Do you want to spend a point of momentum for more information?
I do. Is this similar to like a cryo freeze state type?
Very. It's from your experience. It's similar in appearance in that it's slowed down all of the biological functions, but the body doesn't seem to exhibit the normal like signs of a cryogenic, state or and
it's just laying here,
Yeah,
it's not like in a
right. Yeah, it's not. So it's certainly not frozen in a cryogenic state, and it's not in an active field that is perpetuating this. So it's not like a stasis field or anything like that. It is almost as if this is its natural state.
Okay.
Frankie's very interested in this, by the way. Frankie is right over your shoulder because this feels alien. This feels experimental. This feels all the things that Frankie is very interested in.
All right. So for your point of momentum that you spent, Doctor, you determined that there is some sort of cellular activity happening with this person, in that a lot of their nerve fibers, and it's starting with nerve fibers, but it's also starting to spread towards muscle and even circulatory fiber cellular structures are switching to silicone base.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh, I wish I hadn't used my one. What the France over?
She kind of like, she's sort of been like crouched down, like doing this scan and trying to like interpret the readings, and she kind of like does it and then does it again and then like maybe knocks it on the ground and does it again, like what? and then she sort of sits back and she's like, well, this all right, I don't know exactly how to describe this, but Commander Mers, this individual is not precisely alive and not precisely dead. They have entered some sort of state where it's like an advanced form of a coma reaching towards almost a cryo-freeze state, but somehow on a cellular level they are changing, and somehow it has been replaced with some sort of silicone
Have to mention.
biology.
Do I know what this is? Rihanna thinks she knows what this is.
Bro, you've got a crazy ancient being slug
It's
in your
true.
brain. They might know.
I used up my trill trying to land this goddamn spacecraft.
But still.
So, and I just couldn't do it still. So I don't have any focus or talents. Well, I have joined as a talent. No, I used that, right? That's what I used. I can only use that once. Damn it. All right. Well, what can I roll to just see if Mers paid attention? If Mers knows what this is.
Don't waste.
Brittany doesn't know what this is, but Frankie might know what this is, just to be clear. With our powers combined.
You can roll for anything. So you can, if you want to try and like come up with some sort of like, maybe I've heard of this before, or maybe there's rumors of this or whatever. I would say that's very likely going to be a science roll. Whatever attribute you want is completely up to you.
Okay.
But I'll tell you this right now: difficulty is 5.
All right. I mean, I gotta. Oh boy.
We got a lot of momentum in that pool.
I mean, if I roll wrong in a thing like this, I'm gonna cause threats, right?
If you don't succeed, you just don't succeed. If you make complications, now your complication rating is still 1, so that means complications are only rolled on or gained on a 20 on a 20-sider. So I mean, it's not gonna, like if you roll up complications, I'm not gonna blow up the ship. It'll just be. It may spark something interesting to happen. Let's look at it that way.
Well, I'm not I did not put anything really into science, so I don't even know if it's worth it to do it then.
Can I use my collaboration science talent? I think I can use this.
Well, it's a difficulty of 5 though. At this point, I don't even think it's worth it to try and cause more problems for us to like.
Yes, collaboration science is absolutely what you would do in this point, because what that means is you spend a momentum, and essentially you get Lieutenant Carmichael lets you use their discipline rating on your roll.
I mean, that's pretty cool. But what were you gonna say?
Also, it's almost the end of the night, and we have 5 momentum left, and that stuff goes away at the end of each session.
I forgot about that last time.
You're right. Okay, let's see if we can redeem ourselves, and by ourselves I mean me. Let's do it.
Commander Mers doesn't know the difficulty level. That's
right.
metagaming.
Right. All right, so
right.
Whenever an ally attempts to use that discipline, you spend spend 1 momentum right now. That'll make it so that way you can use Carmichael's science rating of 4.
Oh, sorry, I just spent it. That's my bad.
Oh, sorry. That's fine.
That's right. I added it, and then let's use it.
There you go. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Oop. Sorry.
Let's just give it away.
Hey, wait. Why not use 2? Why not? Okay. Wait. No.
Oh, you're gonna increase your dice pool also?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So what you're going to do for this particular case, is you're going to change your science on your character sheet from 2 to 4 for just this roll. There you go.
Okay.
You're at 3 dice. Your difficulty is 5.
Can I use a determination too?
You certainly can.
All right. I should have used that when I was landing.
So you would click the button next where your determination, that little button there, it'll say that you're using to add a natural 1 to your dice pool. So now you're rolling, your number of dice is 4. It'll actually roll 3 because one of the dice is going to count as rolling a 1. And your difficulty is 13. All right, so you, beyond that, now this determination has to coincide with one of your values. What value do you think that this applies to be able to use your determination?
Can I loop that into joined in that I have all this knowledge? Because other than that, everything else is like I'm trying to be a good leader. Which I don't.
I think it's fine. Yeah, it's just you used the talent already, but now you're still tapping into these old memories. So I'll say that's fine.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
So the only thing, do I get to click focus as well?
Well, do any of these focuses apply?
Well, I have one that just says inspiration, and I have one that says team dynamics.
I don't. No, inspiration is like you're inspiring someone else. Team dynamics would be like working with a group and being able to coordinate things with a group.
I mean,
Well, then again,
yes.
you are working with Frankie in this, so you know what? I'll say yes. Team dynamics will work on
Thank you.
this.
Thank you.
Yep.
All
It's just a
right.
matter of talking myself into it. Yes.
Thank you. If this roll doesn't work, then we all agree that it's right now racist to trolls. Okay? Everybody agree?
Sure,
Okay.
Sure. Four successes.
No, what? Really?
Yeah, you needed 5. You got 4.
So
you,
close.
you couldn't have
Wait, didn't we get one that's already a natural 1-2 there?
Yeah.
That's included.
That was already included. The only caveat to that would be, Frankie, you can technically assist on this and actually get an assist
Yes.
roll. So that would be number of dice 1, science plus whatever attribute you're going to use,
Yep. Science and reason. Got it.
and then as for focuses, I would say yes, one of your focuses does apply, and you can
Yep,
roll that.
yep.
So there you go.
And then what's the DC?
The DC for this, just for an assist, is just DC 1.
Just one. Okay, great. Lovely.
Natural 20, which is a complication.
Are you fucking? Can you show all of your screen? Can we make sure you're not doing something at this point?
You think I'm hacking you
This is-
and changing things? All right,
Wow.
so here's what happens. As you're
Oh
sitting
my
there
gosh,
and
I'm
you're
so
scanning this and you're like, I'm trying to figure it out, and you're tapping into like old memories, like deep memories of your Trill symbiote, and you're just trying to come up with something, anything. And as you're getting closer and closer to this thing, you're like, maybe if I get close enough to it, I can get some sort of like sense of what is going on. And the milky white eye moves and looks at you, and its mouth opens and goes,
Okay, that's not great.
and you see that it has, when it does open its mouth, it seems almost kind of mucusy, but you see that these silicone, almost like silicone gel strands, are like in its mouth, and it just kind of goes, and that's when combat starts, as others appear as well.
Oh no.
Got
No.
Cool.
Don't like that.
Oof.
I don't
Oh,
like it
that's so
either.
many. Ooh.
Okay, so in combat, the way combat works is that the player characters go first, and what you do is you determine which player character wants to go first, and then after they go, you can. It would be an opponent goes, or you spend 2 momentum to retain the initiative. So, and then once you've done that, then one of the opponents gets to go, and then it goes back to the player characters. Unless I spend a threat, or actually I need to spend 2 threat to let the bad guys go first. I am not going to do that. So player characters may act first, as you hear that these other panels are starting to be like boom, 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 kicked open, or starting just like creaking open, as these other crew members. Now they are in Starfleet uniforms. For the representation here on the map, they're all wearing red, of course, because they're Richards. But they're in the engineering section. But we'll say that like one of them may have a gold topped uniform as well. And they're milky white eyes, and they are looking like they're going to start shambling towards you. So
Eric,
Mhm.
do I take away my stress from getting
Yes.
healed?
Good question.
Okay.
Yes, because this is a new encounter. Yes.
Okie dokie.
All right. So the question is, who wants to go first?
Gideon is just gonna scream in shock and shoot the bejesus out of the closest one.
All right, so the one that that is in the the commander's face. You just,
Oh yeah, she's gonna go, oh no! Just shoot him.
all right,
Okay.
so a ranged attack. The way you do that is control plus security. Difficulty is 2. It is always 2. Now, if the creature that you're shooting or the thing that you're shooting is within melee range of one of your friends, that increases it to difficulty 3.
Oh, okay, so I have to do DC 3?
Correct.
Yikes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't have any bonuses to this. Okay, so
We're not a very combat group.
no, and it's set to stun.
Mhm.
Okay, so just DC 3, I roll 2 dice. Boom.
Okay.
I did not succeed.
You did not succeed, but you did not. No complications. So you fire your phaser and it hits the control panel next to this. You had it set to stun, so it just kind of lights up for a second and then goes away.
That tracks.
All right. So, do you, as a group, want to retain initiative? That would cost you 2 momentum.
Wait, what?
If you want to retain initiative, it costs 2 momentum. Otherwise, the bad guy, one of the villains, gets to go.
So it
I
just
thought
goes back
all the
and forth.
player characters. Oh.
Check.
See,
Yes.
so
Yeah, let's retain
You are
it.
you are thinking in Conan terms. Conan, when Star Trek came along, they as far as I know, this is how Star Trek is, and I know other games like Dune and things like that kind of adopt this too, where it's kind of you retain initiative by spending momentum. So
Let's
Can I
try and
borrow-
keep it.
Speaking of Conan, can we borrow Varg really quickly and just have him destroy all these Zambinos? Okay. You know what? No, that's fine. I'm not going to spend any momentum if anybody else doesn't want us to spend momentum. But can I back up?
yes, you may move.
All right. Actually, I'm not going to back up. I'm going to. How many spaces can I go?
It's the only reason there's a grid there is for token proportions. You
right.
can actually
So-
move all the way back to the shuttle if you wanted to.
Gideon's going to run forward in one and just go all the way over here.
Okay.
Okay. I actually do want to spend momentum because it's there and we should use it.
Yep.
And
Do
server. So I'm gonna you have to spend 2.
Correct. Nope,
Okay.
you're adding.
Oops.
nice try.
I tried.
There you go.
All right, fine. Okay. I'm going to shoot the one in front of us.
Okay. Because you are
Uh-huh.
engaged in it and you can move, you can back up. It's not like you have to stay in its face.
Oh,
Yeah.
we got bits.
Oh,
How many bits?
thank you. 100.
Done.
Thanks.
Thank you.
100.
Cards.
So adds 2. Oops. Too many.
That's fine.
There we go. All right. So, yeah, backing up, is fine. You're taking your shot. Your difficulty is 2 because you're no longer shooting at something in melee.
Okay. Control and security, and then I hit.
Yes. Now, do you
Could
want
do
to
the-
add any dice with momentum?
Yeah, since we got one, I'll add one.
Okay.
Please work. Okay. And then I hit my normal dice, or I hit the little dice by the phaser. No, I hit my normal
Your
dice.
normal
first?
dice, yeah. And then
Okay.
if you hit, then you would
Okay, so it's 3 dice since I used the momentum.
correct.
Okay. All right, I did succeed.
Yes. So 2 successes means that you hit. So you would roll the dice button next to your phaser, and that'll roll your dice. That'll roll your damage.
Did I click it?
I think you got to double click it.
Oh,
There he goes. All right. So you did 6 points of damage with one effect. I think a phaser doesn't have any special
an
effects.
effect. Well, I mean, it is set to stun.
Yeah. So yeah, you're definitely not going to kill this thing.
Okay.
So you set it to stun. You do 6 points of damage. It has a resistance of 2, so that makes it a 4. Now, I'll tell you how the mechanics of this game work. Essentially, what you're looking for is 5. Anytime you do 5 points of stress, you're going to do damage to whatever you're attacking. So you did 6. It has a resistance of 2, so that means it drops it down to 4 damage. So what you can do is you can spend a point of momentum to add a point of damage, which would put it back to 5. If you do that, you take this thing out of the combat because it is a minor NPC or a minor thing. So,
Do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it.
okay, so you go ahead and drop your momentum, and so this thing, you shoot it. It made this horrible hissing noise, and Gideon takes a shot as they run past, and you shoot it. You see it kind of flares for a moment, and then just kind of goes inert, and it's not much different than what it looked like when it was just laying there, but it's now crumpled at your feet, and it is not moving at all. All right, so
Cool.
I'll get rid of that one. There you go. All right, so you've one person's gone. You spent 2 momentum to retain initiative. You've shot and disabled one of these creatures. So now it is their turn. So what happens is they start to close in on everyone, and luckily they are not very fast. They got stuff going on the inside. So you've got. They're closing the
We have
gap.
silicon zombies, don't we?
Silicon zombies, exactly. So they're going to just start closing in on everyone. And this one is actually walking over to Gideon. All right, so the way this works is they are going to they're not using phasers. They're just like essentially just grabbing, and you can see that where a lot of the flesh of their fingers appears to have been like almost like rotted away they almost have like talons, just like the pointy fingertips. And as they get closer, you can see that these fingertips are coated with something.
Okay.
John Duke loves us and gave us poor momentum.
4 momentum. Oh my goodness.
No, more momentum.
Oh, okay.
But I will take the 4.
All right, so these creatures are closing in. It looks like I've got 1 on Gideon, 1 on the doctor, and Kujera, I guess, is stepping in front of Frankie on this one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Oh, thank goodness.
All right, so I am doing a melee attack, which is daring plus security, which is not great for these things. So my target number is 10. I've got 2 dice. And
We spend momentum to make things worse for you.
How many bits to make it worse for you?
all right, so I'm looking for a 10. My dice pool is 2, and I am attacking. This is going to be against Gideon.
No. Wait. That feels targeted.
All right, so that is 2 successes. So that is actually a success. With let's see here. Yeah, that's 2 successes. For a melee, I needed a difficulty of 1. Oh, it's opposed by your daring and security. So I got 2 successes. So Gideon, I need you to make a daring plus security check.
My daring's pretty good.
Yeah. And just target 1. Actually, it's honestly it's target 0 because you're setting the DC for the attack. So set your DC.
To 0.
Actually, no. It would just set it to 0. And if you get 2 successes, you dodge it. 2 successes, you dodge it.
Nice.
Get momentum.
Yay!
All right, so the creature swipes at you and you dodge out of the way. I've got 1 coming at the doctor for the same thing, so I've got 2 dice. My DC is 1. And I need a 10. Are you also dodging, Doctor?
If I can.
Let's see here. Yeah, they if target is opposed by the target's daring plus security.
Okay.
So
Do I roll or do
you roll first because you're setting my difficulty.
Okay, so I roll daring plus security.
Correct. You
Okay.
can spend momentum on this dodge. That is completely legal.
Yeah, we have
So
a
I
lot
think
of
I
them.
will.
Okay.
And I think I didn't fully define this before, but I want to define it now. I want to take. So I took the talent cautious, and I want to take cautious with security,
Okay.
which kind of makes sense for her. That like she would be very careful about shooting anyone with anything or otherwise doing anything along those lines.
Sure, absolutely.
So you have to choose a single discipline when you select this talent. Whenever you attempt a task with that discipline and you buy one or more d20s by spending momentum, you may re-roll a single d20.
There you go.
So I might be able to re-roll this. Okay.
There you go. So
All right. I'm using the momentum.
you're at three dice.
3 dice. What
you-
is my DC?
Your DC is 0 because you're setting my. You really
Okay.
shouldn't generate momentum on this because you're really just setting my DC. So
Okay. I don't have a focus for this. All right. I think that's everything.
okay,
All right.
1. Okay, all
One
right.
success, one momentum.
Yeah. So okay, my DC is 1. My target number is 10. I have 2 dice going at the doctor. I rolled 0 successes and a complication. So what?
Whoops.
Yep. So what happens is this creature comes at you. Like I said, its legs are just kind of it's very jelly leg. So it kind of it stumbles and actually just kind of falls at your feet and is now in no position really to attack you. More of it's just going to crawl after you because its legs aren't quite working correctly.
Okay.
All right, and now we've got the one on Kujera.
Okay.
All right, so that my target number is 10. Do you want to dodge?
Yes. Well, if I dodge, is it going to put Frankie?
No, unless you roll a complication.
Don't do that.
Well, I don't want to just get hit. All right, well, I'll use a momentum and I'll try and dodge a bit.
Okay, so it is daring plus security.
Okay. And it's 1 complication? Or DC 1, I mean?
DC, yeah, well, DC 0 because you're just setting my DC.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Yay.
Okay, so my DC is 2 for this roll to attack you. And no complications, so you're good.
Did she generate momentum? Did it generate momentum?
Yeah, go ahead. That's fine. All right, so 0 successes. So tries to swipe at you, and you move out of the way. These things are very clumsy, so yeah, they're not the best. Let's see. I did 1. I actually am dropping all of my threat because I attacked with all the creatures. So now it is all player characters because I after 2 I should have after that third one shouldn't have attacked. So I went ahead and spent the last of my threat to make it so that I kind of should have stopped at the one that went after the doctor. So that was my fault.
Ah.
All right, so looks like we have we've got Frankie and the doctor haven't gone in this round yet.
Frankie?
Yeah, go ahead, Rihanna.
One thing is, since we're giving away that deluxe edition, and we were talking about, hey, there should be a phrase.
Yeah.
I think the phrase should be silicon bees.
Silicon bees.
Saphaholic said it. It's
Yeah.
silicon bees or siliconzies. I think silicon bees sounds.
Silicon bees rolls
Yeah.
off the tongue
Silicon
slightly
bees.
better.
Yeah, so I think
How is
silicon
that-
bees should be the
Okay.
special word.
Nice.
S-I-L. I don't have the chat up, so how do they spell that?
Yeah, SILICONBIES. So
All right.
silicon bees.
Gotcha.
Nice.
Silicon bees. So those of you who are watching, that is the hashtag that we will pull for this episode to enter you into the drawing for the deluxe edition of the hard copy of the book. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, so Frankie, Doctor, what are we doing?
So I guess Frankie's kind of being shielded a little bit by the commander.
Correct.
I wonder what. I don't know that she would attempt to use her weapon around the commander, but maybe some kind of assist. Like, could I assist the commander in the next attack that
Absolutely.
makes?
You absolutely can. You absolutely
Cool. Okay, I think I'll prepare for whatever that might look like.
can. Okay. All right. Doctor, what are you doing? You got the one that's like slumped over next to you.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to just take that one out of the combat by hopefully stunning it senseless.
Okay. All right.
We're
So
gonna try.
yeah. So the attack for that is control plus security. Your difficulty is normally 2, but it's laying at your feet. I'm going to make it a difficulty 1. And it is not rolling it's not capable of dodging or anything like that at this point.
All right, I'm going to use momentum.
Okay.
Let's see here.
And you hit.
Glad I did, because that's the only one that succeeded.
Right. All right. So your phaser type 2, just double click your damage button there. Okay, nice. 5 effect. It has a resistance of 2, so for 2 momentum, you can drop this thing.
Yeah, I think I'm going to.
Okay, pay those 2 momentum. All right, so the one it falls over. It was like lumbering towards you. Its knees weren't quite working right, and just kind of falls down, and you just step back and it is no longer moving. All right. And it looks like we're back to the beginning of the start of the next round, which player characters go first. So who wants to go first in the new round? Now, Commander, you are, Frankie did hold an action or is going to assist you in your next thing. So just to let you
guess
How
know.
many more of them are there?
3?
Yeah, because, Doctor, you can't see. You only see that one's messing with Gideon at this point.
Yeah.
Okay, so I will go next then, using Lieutenant Carmichael's help. So
Okay.
I will try and hit the one directly in front of us.
All right, so
Oh, can I see the one on the corner?
yes.
Okay, good. Okay, so with the one,
Okay.
I'm still doing daring security.
Yes. Oh,
What
no.
can I
You're
add?
doing control security if you're using range.
Control. Okay,
Yes.
control security. That's fine. Assisting.
And then
I'm gonna-
Frankie rolls the assist first. Don't forget to do that.
Okay. So it's 2 dice, DC 1. Okay. So Frankie, go first.
Yep. So you're
Okay,
gonna do.
so what is Frankie rolling?
So it is control plus security,
Mm-hmm.
and then you're only rolling 1 dice,
Yep.
and your difficulty is 2.
Got it.
There you go.
Is this going to work?
That
Probably
is
not.
do any of your focuses apply? Don't think so. No.
No. Okay. Well, here we go.
You did not succeed because the difficulty is 2.
That's
oh no! Wait.
great.
I'm sorry. You're assisting. You weren't actually.
I am
shooting.
assisting.
So your difficulty
true.
was only 1. So you did succeed.
So I do make it. Okay.
Yes.
Lovely. Love
Okay,
that.
thank you.
Yes.
Very good.
Yes.
Okay,
How am
so
I have
with
things stacked against me? Okay. Go ahead.
Yes.
yeah, so with that assist, I'm just rolling the 2 dice with a DC of 2.
Your DC is 2. You're rolling right now. You're rolling 2 dice. Team
Mm-hmm.
dynamics, I think, would fit in this because you're getting an assist, so your focus would apply. And you are protecting your crew because that's one of your values. So you technically
true.
could spend determination on this if you wished. Certainly don't have to.
Does determination come back every game?
Determination is you technically yes, because I'm awarding it at the end of every session, and you also get it for good role play and things like that. So I'll tell you what, because everybody go ahead and add a point of determination, because I should have done it as this combat started, because this is super weird stuff.
So we have 4.
If you started with 3, you should now have 4. Yes.
Okay, I used 1, so I have 3, and I.
Yeah. So yeah, just click. Don't forget to
Oops!
add the
Didn't
one.
mean to do that.
No, are you adding 1 to your roll?
Sure.
Okay, I'm just asking. I mean, you can always. Yeah.
No, I clicked it. I did it, so it's on there.
There you
All
go.
right, let's do
Hey,
it.
chances are very good you're gonna hit this thing now.
Yes.
That's what we're looking for.
Yeah. So are you?
Neutralize the target.
Your focus is applied. You're doing control plus security. Do you want to spend any momentum for any additional dice?
No, I think it's overkill, or hopefully it's overkill by this point. I probably jinxed it. Let's go.
All right. Go ahead and make your roll. Okay. So you got 3 successes. You only needed 2, so you generate a point of momentum. And you're using your phaser type 2, so double click your damage dice right next to your phaser type 2 damage. There you go. Nice. So 7 damage, which
Nice.
because it has a resistance of 2, so that makes it a 5 damage. This is a minor NPC, which incapacitates this creature.
Awesome.
All right, so that one is no longer viable. There you go. All right, so you have 3 momentum in the pool. Does the group want to spend 2 momentum to keep the initiative? Or do you want one of the bad guys to go? Commander, what's your call?
Let's do it.
Okay, so go ahead and drop 2 momentum, and then which player character is going to go?
Oops. I'm always going to do that.
One day you'll get away with it, Commander.
That's right.
I believe in you.
It's not on purpose. Okay. Gideon, do you want to go, or do you want me to go?
Yeah,
again?
I'm all alone up there. So
Okay, go do it.
Gideon's gonna try again with her phaser and be like, "You're kind of cool looking and very scary looking, but I need you to be unconscious for my own sense of like ease." And I'm gonna try and shoot it to stun again.
Okay, sure. Absolutely.
Okay.
And
that's-
also, you brought up a good point, Commander. If you spend the 2 momentum to retain the initiative, another player character can go, or you could take a second action. That's the way that works. So it's just a matter of how you do things. So I just wanted to bring that up because that is actually a legitimate thing. So okay, all right. So you're doing a shot, Gideon. So it is control plus security.
Yep. Roll.
You had
Nice.
You did daring instead of security, or
Whoops,
instead of control.
never
I
mind.
can re-roll that. Hold on.
But it's the same thing though. It's the same thing because
Okay.
you succeeded either way. So you got 2 successes. Your target number was actually 2. Or for a shot is decent.
Look
2.
at the numbers together.
That should be extra good luck, right?
Right.
Yeah,
That's
15 momentum.
that gives momentum.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, I'm sorry. What did I mess up here?
All right. So instead on your character sheet where it says attributes, you should have clicked your control instead of daring.
Okay,
Yeah, there you
that
go.
makes it even higher.
Yeah, but
And
regardless, that roll was both those dice were successful for that. So you're fine unless you want to re-roll it. Your DC is 2.
DC is 2. Well, yeah. No, I generated momentum on that roll, so I'm.
Well,
gonna
no,
keep it.
you because you had set your difficulty to 1, so you would have.
Okay, well then I'll re-roll it
There you
and
go.
I'll fail.
and you do. All right, so you take a step back, take a shot at it, and again, it's just you're not used to shooting something that is moving towards you. Range shooting isn't quite the same. So you take another shot and shoot at its feet, and it's still kind of shambling. Okay, so that leaves there's 2 monsters.
Can I yakety sack it away?
Yeah, you can move. Yeah.
I'm gonna move away from this fella. I'm gonna move over here.
Okay. All right. So then this one is going to close in on the commander. Is using its dare because it's using hand to hand. It's using daring and security, so it needs a 10. It's hand to hand, so it's DC 1. Commander, are you dodging this, or it would be daring plus security? So it's dodge or block, or narratively you can say whatever you want, but it's essentially just trying to negate this attack. Are you doing that?
I want to, but I first and foremost I'm like making sure Frankie doesn't get hurt. So
Okay.
if there's no way to dodge and make sure she doesn't get hurt, then I probably just need to take it.
Okay. Well then, yeah. What as before, it would be if you roll a complication on it, then there's a potential that Frankie could get hurt. But if you are willing to just take it, that guarantees that Frankie will not get hit at all. So it's up to you.
Okay, well, is it still in my values? Well, no, I can't use my focus then. And there's 2 momentum.
Yeah, protecting your crew would definitely be in your values. So, and either way, taking the hit or blocking, you're doing that's just so you can spend determination on a roll. That's what values is all about.
Okay,
So-
well, I'm going to try to block it then, because, moving out of the way gives that possibility, which is not great, but blocking shouldn't. So, okay, I'll
Okay.
try and block. So that's control and security still?
Correct. Your DC
Okay.
your DC 0 because you're setting my target.
2 dice. And since I have a value, that doesn't add anything, right?
Value doesn't no. That's just so you could use determination if you need it.
Okay, no, I'm fine. Let's try.
All right.
Oh,
So there is a success and a complication. So you block it. So if there were 0 successes in complication, Frankie would have been a potential target. You succeed. So that sets the my DC to 1. But the complication is we'll kind of figure out what happens here. So I'm looking
Okay.
at a 10. My DC is 1. I don't have any threat, so I'm just rolling the 2 dice. I roll a complication and 0 successes. So what we'll say is that in lumbering towards you, both you and the creature tumble through the door and fall onto the hangar floor. So it kind of tumbles.
it's a
with
regular
you.
Gorn moment, huh?
Yeah. So you kind of tumble down the ramp and dum, 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 dum.
Ow.
No damage
Okay.
though. It didn't hit you, and it's just an inconvenience at this point.
Cool.
I don't have any more threats, so do any of the PC? Who among the PCs wants to go next? It's
I can
either Doctor or Frankie.
Did Mers generate momentum with that roll?
Yes, 1.
Okay,
Okay.
let me add that.
All right. So Dr. Davis sees, Mers is wrapped up with this other one and basically figures that they're competent enough to handle it. So, however, she did see Lieutenant Salt go run screaming across the room.
Right.
So I think she would run up to try and help.
Okay, sure.
If she runs up to here, can she see?
Yep, absolutely.
Okay. Then I think she will shoot at that one there.
Okay. All right. So it again is control plus security. Your difficulty is 2. Do you have any?
I'm going to use a momentum.
Okay.
All right. DC is 2, you said?
Yes.
Okay. I do not have any focuses that are, I don't really,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, her value is Starfleet is my family, so she's definitely very protected.
Yeah. So you can certainly
use
spend a
determination.
determination if you want to put that into this roll.
I think I'll do that.
Okay.
How do you use determination? Do you click the button by it?
Yeah, the little dice button next to it.
I think I'm going to do that because she's very much determined to help Lieutenant Salt.
Okay. All right. Sure. That's,
All right.
Some
so
reason.
Listen, family can be strange, but we still love family.
That's
That's right. That's right.
How many dice am I rolling? On? So I'm
You've got 4 dice lit up now. One of those, when it actually rolls, you'll see 3 dice roll because one of them is going to be an automatic 1. So
okay. All right. No focuses. All right. Let's do this.
there you go. All right, so you get 4 successes, so you generate 2 momentum. You hit it, so you were
Nice.
using your phaser type 2. So double click your phaser type 2 damage.
All right.
Nice.
Ooh.
So total effects, or total damage is 5. It reduces it by 2 because it's got a resistance. So if you spend 2 momentum, you drop it.
Yeah, absolutely. We want to get these things down.
Yeah.
Dr. Davis is on a mission.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, so this one.
Dr. Davis is saving Gideon's bacon this session.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that one also becomes inert and drops. Okay, Frankie. Well, it's actually it has gone. The other one has gone. So really, honestly, the only person available to go is Frankie. So you don't have to spend the 2 momentum for Frankie to maintain the initiative because you're the only one left. So that's good.
Got it. I mean, this is a silly move, but maybe Frankie runs after after Commander Mers and tries to help. This is gonna be bad. But
Kick him? Are you gonna kick him? Or
And then I kick him, sir.
phaser thing,
Oh, okay. You're going to use a phaser?
I have it. I should.
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
Do it.
absolutely.
Why not?
Do it.
All right, so it's control plus security.
Yeah, of course it is.
Now you're shooting into melee, so instead of difficulty 2, it's difficulty 3.
Okay.
Do you have any focuses that apply?
Not. I mean,
No,
Would
really,
she
not
think
really.
to do a melee attack instead?
are you gonna throw your phaser?
Well,
I mean, I could do like unarmed strike. Yeah, very potentially.
just to avoid accidentally shooting our commander.
Well, I'll tell you right
like
now.
a complication.
Yeah.
Do any of your values apply here?
No. Just a
That was a very
scared,
sad no.
scared girl in a starship.
I don't
far
know.
away.
We cannot.
Yeah, she's just reacting. Like she's super.
Do it.
She has a lot. She's so grateful to the commander for protecting her on that first kind of attack, and now she feels a little responsible for the fact that he got toppled. So it's just instinct at this point.
I would say that just looking at your values, we cannot succeed alone. The fact that you're coming to the commander, even though the commander is very protective of you,
That's true. That's true.
You are. You wouldn't be able to do it without him, and
Yes.
that. So I would say it would apply, which means that you could spend a point of determination to give yourself a natural 1, which would give you 2 successes right out of the gate.
Yes, 100%. Okay. Yes, let's
so the
do
little
that.
dice button next to your determination. There you go. And
Got
right
it.
now you're going to be rolling 2 physical dice. You've got 1 dice that rolled a 1. Do you want to add any momentum for another 1 or 2 dice?
I probably should do that. Yes.
Okay.
Can I use them both?
That is completely up to you. Yes.
I think I need to.
Okay.
God.
So you are now at you're full on 5 dice.
Sorry, everyone.
No, that's
No,
what
you're
they're
fine.
there for. All
right.
And your difficulty's 3, so
Yes.
and that's it. So hit your roll button and see what happens. 4 successes, so you generate a point of momentum.
Yes, we'll do that.
And you hit it. So right next to where it says phaser type 1, you see a little dice next to where it says damage 2.
Yes.
Just double click that. There you go. That's a pretty decent roll. All right, so
Right. A phaser goes off right next to Kujera, basically,
Little tiny one.
and he yells in Trill.
Oh no!
You know, work.
yeah. So
Did that work? Did it?
It
does
came.
show?
It came up as non-campaign chat. Because
Oh, I wanted it to show up
Is
in
Trill
the
not on there?
chat.
It is on there, but no one else speaks it. So I'm the only one who read it. And of
so
course-
you can't see
I
it.
was
And of course-
hoping it was going to show I wanted to show off the
The
language.
letters. Yeah, I
Does
don't know why I
for
did. I don't know why I
Aw.
didn't do that.
Stream? I think it shows up for the stream.
It shows up.
but not
Well,
for us.
the translation shows up on the stream.
Oh, I didn't want the translation. Oh no!
There's your one.
We all get one. It's fine.
There you go.
Worth it.
All right, so
Oh.
you hit it with your phaser. It reacts, but it's not completely inert, but it is certainly it was certainly hit by it. So it has gone. It is now back around to the beginning. We're just about out of time for this episode. So what we can say is that it just kind of it reacts, and then it just kind of stops, as if it. For whatever reason, it just kind of, it doesn't stop moving. It just stops like going for you. It just kind of sits there.
Okay.
Maybe that's worse,
Right.
Commander.
And so, and
I'm gonna get up.
Yeah. And so how we'll end this episode is, we'll say that, Gideon, as you're where you are, your tricorder goes off and you look down and you start picking up, because you know what to look for, you're seeing dozens of these creatures are now heading in your direction from deeper in the ship.
Oh, well, time to go.
Back on the Helens.
Well, the Helens is kind of wrecked, but we can probably get the Sequoyah to beam us back, because,
So mad.
oh, but we're not supposed to be beaming. Oh,
I'm
we're in a real
so-
pickle now.
Man.
No, the communication booster was to help so that way you could beam.
Yeah, but we didn't
Okay.
want to beam because we didn't want to be stuck in ion particle goop.
Possibly.
We may have
I think
to
we are
try.
still above that, though. I don't know. Who am I, a science person?
Well, tune in next time.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Tune in
That's right.
next time where we become silicon bees.
No.
All right. So yes, before we go, let's go ahead and let everyone know where each of you can be found on the corners of the internets. We'll start with the commander.
Hi, I'm Rihanna. I've been playing Commander Kujera Mers. You can find me on Twitter at DIY Ferret. I'm DIY Ferret on like everything. Please come talk to me about Star Trek. I'm getting back into it, and I'm still trying to get over DS9. I'm sorry, it's just so good. Please come talk to me about DS9. I'm always available.
All right. And next we have the good doctor.
Well, I've been playing Dr. Cassie Davis. You can find me, Leslie, at Leslie GM Girl. It's girl as in girl.
2 hours.
2 hours. Please come talk to me about, all things nerdy, like just all of them. So, but this has been wonderful. I am loving this game. I can't wait to see what shenanigans we get up to next time.
And next we have Lieutenant Salt.
Yeah, my name is Morgan. I've been playing Gideon. I love her and I love this game and I'm so glad we get to play it. I love everybody about it and everything about it and everybody in it as well. It's tired. My brain is mashed potatoes.
Me too.
You can find me on Twitter at ThistleRaven. You can also find me on the Taking Initiative podcast, which is on Twitter at TI_pod. You can also find us everywhere where podcasts are. We had an episode release, I think, last Friday. We're doing season 2. We're doing Storm King's Thunder. It's a really great campaign. And you can also find me here on the Gamers Table Twitch stream for Conan. We have one more Conan episode left, just one. And you can also find Leslie there as well. And you should tune in for our grand finale, which is happening
I think it's 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Yeah. All right. And last but certainly not least, we have Lieutenant Carmichael.
Yay! Frankie used her phaser in combat, probably for the first time, and it kind of worked.
Yeah.
Very exciting. I will be celebrating that for the next 2 weeks. Personally, I have been playing Frankie Carmichael. My name is Brittany. You can find me on Twitter at Brittany Lee, spelled strangely. You'll figure it out. I believe in you. You can also find me on the podcast D20 Dames, which episodes release every other Tuesday. We had one come out today. It's an all-femme D&D actual play podcast, family friendly. Tomorrow, I happen to be playing a one-shot on Encounter Roleplay on Twitch for the game Fiasco, which is going to be bonkers. Tune into that. It's, I believe, 12 p.m. Eastern, so that means like 3 p.m. No, 12. Guys, time zones. I don't know. Just go to my Twitter and tweet about it. Time zones are so hard. I'm so hungry. Also, it's been really fun playing today. That's all. That's all I have.
All right.
Thank you, Eric.
No, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Eric.
And I'm Eric. I'm the GM of this, the Conan live stream, and also the GM of the Resting Glitch Face Shadowrun podcast, and everything Gamers Table on this channel and gamerstable.com. Thank you all for watching, and we will see you again into. Oh.
1 second. Morgan brought it up in chat, but I want to say thank you to Nelfie for doing the art.
Yes, absolutely. Beautiful artwork. And we'll put another link to their Twitter so that way you can appreciate them directly too. The artwork that was featured here is they did all of that and everything to come character art wise. So it's beautiful stuff. So yes.
No more bad guys though.
Just
good guys
zero
from here on out.
Bad guys
Just
from now on.
Just a big pinup of Captain Max. Just a big, beautiful pinup. We go and see him on the planet.
That's right. And just hang out. That's all the next episode.
Shirt torn artfully.
Yes. And don't forget hashtag Siliconbees.
Silicon bees.
Silicon Bees. All right. Well, thank you, everybody, and we'll see you all in 2 weeks.
Yay. Bye, everyone.